Hello all and welcome back to another model railway video. Now today I'm going to be doing the unboxing video that I've been talking about for a while now. It's the second locomotive out of the two that I had ordered. The first one of course was the Ruston and Hornsby 48DS in the GCR green. Now today the second locomotive has arrived. It arrived in the post today and it's going to be a continuation on the Hornby six-wheel Sentinels that I looked at. I looked at all three from the first release, mainly looking at Stanton number 57, but I did look at the other two as well. At the time of shooting that video though, those were the only ones you could buy. You couldn't buy any other six-wheel Sentinels from Hornby. But that has changed. Two more have been released, and this is one of the two. So here we go. This is the locomotive we're looking at today, and it is the London Transport Sentinel DL81. This locomotive has got some different features compared to the other Sentinels that have been released. The obvious one being these buffers on the front. They're going to be something interesting. I haven't looked at these up close, not even on an image online. So it's very much going to be a first look at this for me. I haven't even bothered taking the sleeve off this. I've left it all for the video. So the reaction you're going to be seeing is literally an on-the-spot reaction. So should be good. Anyway, I'll unbox the locomotive, have a close look at it, and then I will give it a run on the layout. So, we'll get stuck into it. Right, so let's open this thing up. Here we go. Ooh, this looks good. Bit of dust on the bottom. Oh, that's cool. Looks like it's going to be a goodie. I'll tip it up. Can open it up. Ooh. This thing looks very interesting. We'll have a quick look at the instructions. I'm guilty of not really looking at these, folks. But for the video, I will. So, it pretty much just shows you Sentinel class 060 diesel electric locomotive, and it just gives you the basics for that. I'll skip to the diagram. Most of it's pretty generic for the running in bits with Hornby's instructions. So it points out your lubrication points, the unscrew points, so that's pretty much where you unscrew the body. That's where it lifts off. Gee, it looks like a tiny motor in it. I've never actually seen the motors in there. And then it shows you the insert for the front, so if you want to take the coupling out and have that as all as one piece, you've got an insert that goes in there. And then you've got your DCC socket, and what's underneath, is that more lubrication points? Yeah, more lubrication points. So that's the manual, and then what's on the back? It's just the usual safety, television suppression, and yeah, standard manual. But yeah, if you want to know how to fit the detailed parts, which are pretty much just these end bits, that's how you do it. These, I'm very keen to have a look at these. I don't know what those are, but they look interesting. So, I'm going to have a quick look at this detail pack, then we'll have a good look at the loco up close. What on earth are those? So these are the inserts for this Sentinel. I'm going to open that. It's a Ziploc bag, so that's good. You can actually... I like this about Hornby in recent times. They've actually taken on board that's annoying opening the sealed packets and then trying to put it back in and things falling out. They've actually put Ziploc bags in. That's a good idea. What the heck's going on there? If you can see that, that's the insert that goes in if you don't want the coupling there, but it's almost like it's got a coupling on it. It's really odd. I don't know, that's really weird. I've never seen ends like that. The other Sentinels just have a rounded sort of plug that goes in. These are weird. Very weird. We'll have a closer look at them soon when I've got the loco out. Might even fit them. That's weird. Very weird. Right, let's have a look at the loco. That's a nice colour. I like that green. Really nice. So, there it is. Ooh! What's happening there? Did that just move? Oh. That's not good. I'm not going to keep prodding at that. Already found one problem with it, that's loose. I'll have a close look at that in a moment, folks. It's not a good start. But look at these buffers. Sorry, bring it up close. So square buffers. No springs, just square buffers. They look really cool. Real industrial looking buffers those are. But yeah, they've got a little bit of rivet detail on them. I'll look at them closely in a moment. But yeah, this looks really cool. I like the colour. I love how the grills have been done red. It's just unfortunate that's a bit loose. But I'll have a look at that in a moment. But this is looking really cool. I love that green. It's really, really nice. So yeah, I'll get the white background set up, and then we'll have a real good look at this thing. It's a shame about that, but we'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. But yeah, this is going to be a good one. It looks really cool. So, we'll get into it. Unfortunately, folks, this video has started off to a very rocky start. That really fine piece on the front is clearly not being glued enough, and with next to no movement at all, it has literally just fallen off. So, bit disappointed since it's a brand new loco. What I'm going to quickly do though is I have got some glue that I can just carefully tack this back on with, and then I will have a close look at the loco, but it hasn't started off that well, unfortunately. So I'll quickly fix it, then we'll get back to it. So there we are, folks. I have gently just tacked that back on the front for now. I might do a proper job of it later on, but it's on there. So we can have a close look at the thing now. So the thing is, if you do see any glue marks at all on the camera, that is not Hornby's fault, that is my fault. It's probably because of the quality of the glue that I've used. So if there is any residue marks there, that is not on Hornby's part. But yeah, so we'll have a close look at this locomotive now, and we'll start off with the front, as it is certainly wanted to be noticed, as it's been dropping parts off the front. But yeah, what a cool looking thing this is from a front view. So the other Sentinels I've looked at so far, as I mentioned, have regular buffers, whereas these have got these massive big block buffers on them. They're just one big rectangular block, red around the edges you'll soon see, but with a black painted surface on them. They've also got, I think it's bolt marks. There's about 4 bolt marks there where they'll be bolted onto the locomotive frame, and that looks really, really cool. Besides that though, the rest of the locomotive from the front view is very much the same. You've got the same style grille, the same style handrails, same style ditch lights there, and the same sort of style buffer beam. The difference being, of course, the green colour. You've got the same sort of standout red colour on the front, but what I really like is the red grille over the top of the green. That looks really cool. It's different to the other ones. The Stanton number 57 actually had a yellow buffer beam as well, so the other green locomotive didn't have a red buffer beam, so it's quite nice to see the red and the green. Common combination on a lot of locomotives is because the BR, of course, had the majority of their diesels in BR green, so yeah, not an uncommon sight. But yeah, on this Sentinel it looks really, really cool. So, as I mentioned previously, also on the other locomotive, the other Sentinel I looked at, I'll see if I can zoom in on it. I don't know if I can actually do it. It may not focus. But if you can see it, right under the top lights, there's that little plate there. I'm pretty sure that says Sentinel. I can't read it even on the camera at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, you can also see when I zoomed in the fine detail as well on this thing. And of course you got the standard Hornby coupler and the real life coupler. And it looks really good. And then you got these little brackets on the side. Can't remember what those are for, but yeah, little brackets. Also from a front view, you can also see the top of the cab. You can see there's these little fine window wipers. In fact, I'll zoom in a wee bit again so you can sort of see that. There's the separately fitted window wiper pieces, and of course the separately fitted plastic, clear plastic for the windows, and that looks really, really nice. Top of the exhaust you've got that little black painted top, and then a little white line around there as well. Nice, finely done. Something I didn't mention, I don't think, on the last video of the Sentinels was this thing down the side, and all of the other Sentinels that I've got have these. Please leave in the comments if you know what this is, because I don't have a clue what that is, but it's a nicely separately fitted piece. We'll zoom out. Side on view now. So this thing side on looks really, really cool. It's got a nice print on here. In fact, let's zoom in again. So you got the nice London transport print, which is on the side. This is a gold colour with a black lining. Apologies if the light's reflecting off that, it's because from here it looks like it is. But you've also got the same style here for the DL81, which is in the gold colour with the black lining. Looks really cool. And also you've got this underline under London Transport as well on the London Transport print. You've also got the lining going along the side, which is common on the Sentinels. The difference though is, normally about here you would have the Sentinel plate on the side, which would be connected to the lining. This is not actually on this loco. The other Sentinels I've got have got the Sentinel plate. This one does not have that, which is a bit of a shame, but also it's cool to see it different, and it sort of makes sense really. So the main focus is that London Transport print, so I'm assuming that the real thing would have been styled like this, so it does make sense. Now also on the front there's a little plate that is there. I'm not going to zoom in on this one, but I've had a close look and I'm pretty sure it says, from what I can see, powered by Rolls-Royce, and these locos were fitted with Rolls-Royce engines. In fact, I think Sentinel and Rolls-Royce work together on these locomotives from memory. But yeah, it's really nicely printed on there. You've also got the handrail up on the top here. You've got the shield, the big shield, and the little shield at the back, of course with the little handrail parts to it, which have been separately painted, which look really nice. They're on both ends. You've also, of course, got the standout feature for the wheel area. You've got these big coupling rods with the wheel weights done in red. That's on all of the Sentinels that I have, and this looks really, really cool. I like that. You've also got the nice frame detail as well, all the different bits going on there. You can see the brake blocks right in behind. That looks really cool. The black frame, you've got the steps on either end, that look nice. You've got these, I'm not sure what these are, I reckon they're for sandboxes, is because there's more than one of them, and I think it's the same on both sides, so it wouldn't be a fuel cap, I don't think. I think the fuel cap is either there or there. You've got the two little caps on the roof as well. You've got that one, and there's one that's inset into the nose, not the roof, well, the top of the nose, I should say. But yeah, no, the framework detail looks really, really nice. You've also got, you can see from this angle, of course, the exhaust again, which goes up on that lean. And then you've got these little vents at the top, and yeah, other bits of frame detail. You can also see from the side, in fact, I'll try and zoom in again. Well, it might help to actually bring the loco a little bit more forward, so you can actually see that a bit better. There we are. You can see there's some cab detail in there. You can see some little switches in there. There's also, I can see there's, it looks like the frame of a gauge, and there's a little brake lever in there. You can't really see it from this angle. In fact, I'll tip it up a little bit. There you go. You can see that little handbrake just in there, and then you can see the little cab controls a little bit better. They look really, really good. It's nice to have some cab detail. In fact, it's really well done. You can't see any wiring, you can't see any motor block. It looks like a proper cab. It looks really, really good. And for a small engine, that's really nice to see. You've also got again, you've got your clear plastic windows, and you've got the little lined bit here where it looks like you've actually got the ability to slide the window. Of course you can't, because it's fine, but it's got that detailed effect to make it look like a sliding window. Also, and I'll tilt it down again so you can see it, but this has got black lining around the windows, and there's also a little bit of silver lining as well, I'm pretty sure, and that's really, really nicely done. It looks good. And something I don't think I've mentioned before, you've got right at the top here, just that little ridged bit over the top of the windows. I don't think I talked about that on the other Sentinels. I don't even know if the other Sentinels have this. It's quite a small, fine detail, but it's there, and it looks really good. So, I'll zoom this thing back here. There we are. Let's look at the back. Now, this is extremely interesting. You've got this very small nose on this end, like I mentioned on the other Sentinels in the other video. This is really cool with the red and green effect. That looks really nice with the red going across the grille. But what I like, and I saw this before, is the buffers on this thing. You've got this small buffers on here. They're not like the other ones on the other end. They're not painted black. They're a lot smaller. It's quite a funny effect. You've got the big nose at this end. In fact, I'll turn it back so you can compare it. You've got the big nose on this end with big buffers. And then you've got on this end the small nose with the small buffers. Well, they're not really buffers at all, really. They're just like little slab panels on the back. They're not really buffers at all. But it's quite funny how that's been done. And, of course, the real thing would have likely had this setup. So it's quite funny looking, actually. Really cool. Of course, on the back, you've got the red painted buffer beam. Of course, another Hornby coupling, another detail coupling, like the real thing. And this finely fitted handrail piece. I'm quite surprised that this was not the likely one to fall off, because that other one, that panel that fell off on the front, is quite a lot bigger than this. This is a lot finer, so this is doing pretty well. It's quite solid on there. It looks good. You've got little ditch lights as well again, and top lights, what I believe is a Sentinel plate, but I can't prove it because I haven't actually looked at it. I should have looked at this, folks. I do apologise that I haven't looked at that closely. I'm going to, after this video, and get a magnifying glass and see if I can see it. And I'll let you know on a comment or something if it does actually say Sentinel. I should have researched this. Apologies again. Again, on the back, more of these plastic, clear plastic for the windows. Little window wipers there. You've got this little cap thing on the top, which is not the exhaust because the exhaust is there. I'm pretty sure that's a fuel cap there. I could be wrong, but pretty sure that's what it is. And you can see those handrails on the side of the nose there as well. They look really cool. I like that effect. I can't get over that. Small buffers, small end, big buffers, big end. That's quite cool. Right. This side. So this side is very much the same, but one thing I did notice, and I was very observant to see this, I saw this earlier when having a close look at the thing, there are two differences. One that I've actually just seen right then when I was looking at it, but this one here that I saw before. You've got a tiny little plate there. I'm not even going to bother zooming in on it because you won't be able to see what it is, but it's a little plate right there. It's not on the other side. It's just on this side. I don't know what it says, and I don't think even with a magnifying glass I'm going to be able to see that. And then on this side, which I've literally just seen when I was looking at it, then you've got this. What is the story with that? I don't know. In fact, yeah, it's just on that side. Very weird. I don't know what that is. There's just this little random tap hanging down with a little bracket type thing on the bottom. I don't know what that is. That's really weird. So it's quite interesting, this locomotive, compared to the other ones. It's got these little extra touches. Like the other ones are pretty standard. They're just mainly colour differences. Whereas this has actually got components fitted that are totally different to the other Sentinels I've looked at. You've got this little weird thing. You've got the buffers that are different. It's different. It's quite cool how they've done it. It looks really, really good. I'm glad that I've chose this one. It's been a very interesting look at so far. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the detail I can look at. Oh, we'll look at the roof. I'll put the pointer down and I'll turn it up on the roof, have it just a quick look. I don't want to bust that front panel off, so I'm going to hold it by the coupling. But yeah, you've got the little line detail on the top. You can see all the different panels. You can see those vents a bit closer up. And you can actually see that the exhaust does have a hole going all the way down, so it looks really good. It's not just a sealed one over the top just for detail. There's actually a hole there. It looks really good. And you can also see from the top view, you might not be able to pick it up on camera, but the boards, the running boards along the side where the shields are, they've actually got little etch details there, little rivet details. and that looks really cool, looks really well done. I hope I haven't missed anything, because there's quite a lot to look at, and the buffers have definitely taken me by surprise. The look of them on either end, it's quite interesting. Now, let's have a look at these detailed ends before I go and run the loco. I'm going to have a look at the detailed end bits. So these fit into the front of the locomotive, and these are really odd. In fact, yeah, let's fit one. I'm going to just turn the camera off for a moment, folks, and I'll fit it. And I didn't think this loco could look any more weird. Look at that. That just looks totally bizarre. I was not expecting it to look like that. But yeah, it's actually got that little rounder bit, so it fits into the gap pretty well, so it hides it. You can see a little bit of light from the other side, so it's not totally fitting correctly, but how bizarre. I'm going to leave that on for the running video because it just makes it look even more unique. I don't know if it's meant to be like some sort of coupling for modern wagons or what that's meant to be. It's really odd, really odd. But yeah, I'll put this onto my 00 gauge layout now. I will run it alongside the other Sentinel. I'll get that running a bit later on. We'll do the running test first, see if the thing will actually start, which it should. And then, yeah, we'll give it a good run. Let's get to it. Right, the locomotive is down on the track, and let's test it out. Let's see how it runs. And then, of course, I'll run it light engine and then put a load in behind it and compare it with the other Sentinel. So, we'll get some power to it. See if it goes. I've got nothing. It was nearly full power. It's not a good sign. I've got absolutely nothing. Let's try tapping it along a little bit. Gonna move. It's just dead. It's not looking good, folks. It's not looking good at all. In fact, I'm gonna have a quick look at this thing. Right, folks, it gave me a bit of a scare, as you may have seen. It did not start. I stopped the camera and I gave it a bit of a tap, and all of a sudden it sprung into life. So it's gone back down the line. So I'll show you it running now. So it runs pretty okay. I'll bring it back and forward, a little bit coggy. It's not bad. Yeah, no, it gave me a fright before it wouldn't start. It had locked up, because when it took off I had it almost on full power and I tapped it and the thing nearly took off like a racehorse. It was quite exciting, actually. That's not bad. It's not a bad shunting speed. Let's see how slow the thing can go. Will it start on a crawl? That's not bad. Will it go any slower? Yeah, that's it. Do it in reverse. A little bit coggy. But yeah, no, that's cool. I like the effect of those buffers on the front. It looks cool. Looks almost like a face. But yeah, no, it works. That's good. Gave me a fright then, but it works. Right, we'll send it on its way around the layout. I'll run it light engine, then put some wagons on behind, and then I will get Stanton number 57, the other Sentinel, and I'll put that on the other track and have that running around as well. So, we'll get into it. So far so good. The London Transport Sentinel has had a bit of running in time. It's been looking really good, chugging around. But yeah, I'm going to try a different type of load in behind it. I'm actually going to put some coaches in behind for a bit of a change. And on the other line, I will have the Stanton number 57 six-wheel Sentinel running with some freight stock. So I'll put the coaches in behind and see how it looks. So there we go, folks. That is Hornby's six-wheel Sentinel from London Transport DL81. What a cool little machine. It is really good in terms of performance, like the other Sentinels I've already got. It's well detailed like the other Sentinels, but at the same time it is so unique. I like the features that have been included, especially these big block type buffers and this really interesting coupling insert. I like how Hornby have actually gone to the detail of actually making that a separate piece that can be fittable and removable, so you can put the Hornby coupler in, but you can also fit this really interesting insert. Really cool. I like how this has been done. I hope it was an alright choice to have coaches in behind it. Now that I look back at it and have been looking at it running, it does look a little bit out of place. It looks like something that should be hauling freight stock, but it was interesting seeing it actually hauling some coaches. It struggled a tiny bit. I could see in places it was slowing down, but it didn't do too bad. It was pretty good. It had a couple of little incidents at the beginning, like of course the front grille and handrail piece coming off, just not enough glue really, not really a biggie. I was able to fix it. If you're not confident though in fixing something like this, and you do get one that does have the front grille either detached or has fallen off, send it back's probably the best method, I'd say. Or if you can glue it, if you're confident enough to do it and do have a bit of skill with that sort of thing, you can try it if you want, but if you're not sure, definitely send it back and either get a new one or your money back if it's not going to work out. But I doubt that that's going to be a problem for anyone else. I think it's just the one-off with my one, just one of those things. It does happen. I have seen just every now and again an odd locomotive pop up with a small defect, but it's not really a biggie. I'm not terribly disappointed. It was an easy fix and it's all back together and running again and it looks good. The other thing, of course, when it started off it was a bit interesting, but that again, just one of those things, just locked up. But it took off really well. It runs at a nice slow speed. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this locomotive. Very good. I hope it's been an enjoyable unboxing video. I've certainly said many times that it was going to be coming, and I hope it's been worth the wait. There'll definitely be more unboxing videos in the future, but for now, I've bought all the locos I intend to buy for the moment, but yeah, there'll definitely be more in the future. Oh well, I hope it's been enjoyable, folks. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.